Hey everybody, how's it going? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card out is Seven of Cups. Second card out is Six of Cups. All right. This looks like some unresolved things coming up. But it looks like it's based off of it looks like it's some old stuff that's coming up now that you may be trying to figure out. There could potentially be you having a conversation with somebody about this, but not necessarily. You can feel like you need to sort of understand this before that happens, if that's going to happen. It feels too like you have a foot in both worlds. I'm seeing something about you have a foot in working out something that's like associated with the past, like this has already happened, but it's still something where you may not have closure or it may not be clear yet. There can be something that you're unsure about or just trying to figure out. Then on the other side of this, I'm seeing something that looks new or different that you're also exploring. And you can feel like you're sort of balancing the both of these, like this old thing that feels like it's not concluded yet because I'm still figuring it out, and also this sort of new thing that I'm stepping into simultaneously. There's concern over something not making sense. And you may be feeling weary because of that. What this is feeling like, if you had a situation with somebody in the past that like never really added up or didn't make sense, there can be potential for something to be now occurring again with this person, but there can be this feeling that you're having of like, but that old stuff was never resolved, so I don't know how I feel about like creating a new scenario when I still haven't figured out how I felt about that, or those other things like were never really, made clear to me. So there's a part of you that's like maybe feeling like you need to resolve this old stuff before you can like open a door again. But it would be opening the door to like the past a little bit. So it can be somebody that used to be in your life that something happened with where there was never something that like made full sense of it. Then the opportunity of them being around again and being like, I don't know how I feel about this because I still don't know how I felt about that. Like this type of thing is what I'm seeing. But there can also be a part of you that's like, I'm trying to be like explorative. I'm trying to be open. Like I'm seeing this other part of you that's like, you do want to explore and expand and grow and see what's going on. But then there's this other part of you that's like, but that still didn't make sense. And you can feel like you can't let go of it because of that, because you're like still trying to add things up over here. And that like once you do, it can be integrated, but you can feel like it still sort of sticks out and it's still like a problem to solve is how I'm seeing this. And you can feel like, how am I gonna like open up a new thing even if it's with like the same person if I haven't even figured out this part yet? You can feel almost like it's not time to go to the next level or another level with this person because you didn't solve the last one or make sense of it. In looking into this, it does seem like there's going to be some stuff falling into place. What is this? There can be something that you're going to be coming to terms with here. Okay. I guess something complicated happened in the past with you and this person. You could have felt like very close with them at one point in time. And you could want to reestablish that sense of harmony. Something is happening where I'm seeing someone feel like upset about something, or even like admitting something that may not have been admitted before. But this feels like it's associated with a change. So maybe before someone was like not in that space, but now they're in this space. It feels like a different emotional space. Like that's the thing that ends up changing. How do you work with yourself through this? I'm seeing you start off in an energy where you're looking at this objectively and being like, that thing is sticking out to me because it still doesn't make sense and I'm still trying to understand it. And now it feels like there's an opportunity for you to sort of go exploring. I do get the sense that this all sort of is connected. Everything is connected here. So the part of you that's like, I want to sort of like take a chance with this or explore, sort of see what's going on there and go in that direction. It's like, oh, I want to move forward with things. There's a part of you that wants to do that, but the part of you that wants to do that is like impacted by the part of you that's like, but we still didn't figure this out yet. Like it still doesn't make sense yet. And so it's like impacting your ability maybe to be present to something that's directly in front of you. Or you can just be feeling worried about it. Like what if I get into another situation that doesn't make sense again? It's like, what if this makes sense, you can get to a point where you're like, okay, I'd have no problem sort of going this way now. But because of something still being like, what happened back there? That can be where the concern is coming from, that's associated with potentially doing something with this person again, is what this feels like. There is going to be some type of shift, though. And it feels like it's going to be an emotional shift. And for some of you, it's going to be on the end of the other person, actually. But that can also mean that it's going to have like a domino effect on you, too, where it can bring stuff up where you're like, oh, this makes sense now. But that person had to get into this place in order for that to happen. All right, who are we seeing? I'm looking at Uranus and I'm looking at Aquarius here. So we have heavy Aquarian energy. I'm looking at Scorpio too on the bottom of the deck. Okay. Trying to make sense of a confusing situation. Feeling like pretty involved in this. You can feel like it's hard to sort of focus on anything else when this is still really sticking out to you as something that's like a puzzle that wasn't put together yet. I'm seeing now, also presently, it looks like there's an opportunity with somebody from your past that's popping up, or like somebody that you've known. This is not going to be a new person. This is somebody that you already have had what looks like some type of unresolved situation with them. There is going to be some type of change and there is going to be more information that comes in only because it's time for this to happen now. And I do get the sense that this is going to help resolve or like solve something that was feeling puzzling before. Being flexible emotionally and also mentally is going to be important here, which means being receptive to new information to work with it rather than sticking with like an old calcified point of view. So it's like, okay, new information, so let's integrate new information to then problem solve and work with that. And it feels like it's going to help you confidently step forward in this process. And it also feels like it's going to allow you to close a chapter out that could have felt like it was sort of sticking with you all along. And you're going to be able to move forward. And for some of you, it may actually be with the same person. But for others of you, you can feel like you're also being released from this too. It's just going to depend on your standpoint with this. But whatever it is, it can feel like finally I'm released from this thing so I can keep moving with my journey. And I can feel like more hopeful about stuff. And that could have been a way that you weren't feeling before. And for those of you that this is associated with an old person, like I do get the sense that somebody has like changed and it allows for a shift to be happening, but it can come about unexpectedly. So there can be something that feels like maybe a little bit random, even though it's not. It can feel a little bit like, oh, like now this is happening, but I wasn't really looking for that to be happening. It can feel like that sort of thing. You could have felt like things were great with this person in the past, but then something ruined it a bit. And that can be what part of this is about too. But you can also feel now like things could potentially be like better than they were before, but only after this is resolved. Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing it be clear to you what you want to do here. But again, I want to point out that whatever this is that needed to be made sense of, that's a very key, it's like the first step of this, and without that it feels like the other stuff can't really follow. So that's what the first step of this will be, how you'll know that this is part of the process. Yeah, I do get the sense that if things were weird with you and this person, I'm seeing there be like a things being like you being good with them again, essentially. You can feel too like you had been feeling split on something. Now this won't be the case anymore once you get through. Yeah. Some deeper seated issues can also come to light through this process as well, where you can see things that were like actually problems before that are like named and addressed. So I get the feeling of that too. And then being able to feel like you have all the information so you can make an informed decision. Okay? All right, everybody, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.